Hello, welcome to Trisha's Cards and Crafts and my Techniques Tuesday. And today I thought we'd have a go at making a background layer for a card using stencils. So that is what we're going to do. So I've got a square, I think it's a 6x6 envelope, so it's about 5 3/4 square card base and envelope. I'll put that the right way up just in case. So that's the base of my card. I am going to use these stencils here. I don't think it makes any difference which side you use. And these are called, I think it's foursquare decorative masks. They're from Stampin Up, and there are 4 of them. There's 4 different designs. I've got this one here that's got little squares randomly punched out all over it. This one is a bit like a trellis effect. There's another one with little crosses with dots by them. Hopefully you can see that. And the other one is another trellis, but more open. And you could also think it was like cubes as well, maybe. There we go. But that's the 4 of the stencils that are in the pack. And I'm going to use a piece of crumb cake that I've cut to 5.5 inches square. And I'm going to use this little bit, I don't know how effective it'll be, but I've got a little bit of post-it note tape, which I'm going to use just to act as a bit of an anchor so that doesn't go all over the place. And then I'm going to put this over the top. So I've got a small border around the outside that hasn't got anything on, so I can use my post-it note tape to stick it down so that it doesn't move once I've started trying to use my brushes on it. I might not go right to the edges anyway, I haven't decided yet, but that should hopefully keep it in place while I work. Now I didn't bother changing my paper because that's going to be brown on here, so that's good. I've used this one before for brown ink, so I'm going to use some pecan pie onto the oh, I've got blue nails. Onto the mask or stencil, whichever you want to say. So that's what I'm actually using for as a mask. So let me just get that bit off there. So we're going to ink up our brush and then just dab it off a little bit and then just start inking over the stencil. Now you probably won't be able to, I'm going to do different areas. I'm not going to do the whole thing. And then I'm going to do some up here. Because some of it's not going to be covered anyway. Oh, it's going to be covered up, I should say. Not to be covered. It will be covered up. And then some over here. Just gently over the top. And a little bit down here. There we go. So that's my stenciling that I'm going to do with this. So if I lift this piece up, hopefully, gently, you'll be able to see that we've got an impression there. So that's part of my background. And I will clean that off in a moment once we've finished. And then I'm going to use, if I can find it again, the little squares. There it is. And I'm going to put this over the top as well. Again, need to take that off there. So that can come down there to hold that in place. And that's going to be there, hopefully hold that piece. Let me just take that off and try again. There we go, that's better. Got a bit of grip either side as well as on there. And I'm going to use the same ink again. I'm not going to change inks. I'm going to use the same ink, but I'm going to do it in slightly different places. And if I go over the same place, it will make it a little bit darker as well. So you will see the difference between, I'll just do a little bit in the middle just in case we see it. A little bit on the edge here and down here, and some over here, and a little bit in the corner just down here. I think that's plenty. So we can take this off now. We could, maybe. And put that there. Take this piece off as well. There. And there's my background. That is nice and simple. So you've got a mixture of the squares and the trellis in the background. So I think that looks quite effective. I mean, you could carry on, you could add more layers if you wanted to, you could use different colours, but I think using different tones of the same colour is just as nice. So that's my background. So, and as you see, it makes marks all over my paper, which is why I didn't bother changing it. Right, so that is my background layer. Hopefully you like that. You can use any stencils you might have. If you've got any, you can make your own stencils by punching shapes out of cards. You can cut cards. You could make, I don't know whether you remember when I was little, we used to make doilies out of a piece of paper by folding it up and then cutting pieces out of it. And you could do something like that. You could make your own patterns up and then stick those down over the top so that you then can use the shapes that have been cut out to use as your the stencils to make your pattern. So those are other ideas you might be able to use. So this is my background, and that's going to go onto my card base like that. I might as well do it now. So that's my card base. And then for my topper, the piece is going to go over the top of this to make my card base. I'm going to use, some of these. Now I'm using the Stippled Roses stamp set, and I'm going to use this image here, and I'm going to use Best Birthday Wishes because I don't want too much on the front, and I could put another sentiment on the inside, but I might leave that one for now. So that's what I'm going to use, and I have done this before, but I will go through it again. I'm going to stamp the image onto white, and the sentiment is also going to be on a strip of white. So I've got some strips of Lost Lagoon because I thought that would look nice over the top of the creme cake and the pecan pie. So we're going to stamp this on here, and I don't know whether to cut it out first or not. I think I'll leave it. I'll leave the cutting out. We'll do the stamping first. Right, let's put this away for now. So I need a largest stamp. I didn't think. It's only might not be big enough now. Might have to cut some of this off once I've stamped it. So I'm going to use, I've got a biggish stamping block here. I'm going to use this. Put that out of the way a moment. And we will stamp this onto here. Now I think I'm going to try using some sponge daubers to put some colour on here. But I need a green one as well. And I should have one, but I can't see it. Right, so I need a new one. And then I've got to find them. That's going to be a clever thing as well. Maybe I won't, because I don't know what I've done with them. I tidied things up a few weeks ago, and now I don't know what I've done with different bits and pieces. Ah, maybe there's one in here. Oops. Yes, there are. I can use one of these. Use this over there. Use that one out then. Okay, whoops. And I'm going to use some sweet sorbet and some lost lagoon. Oops. Whoops, a little going. Sorry. Right, put that out, put that in there. Sorry about that. 2 seconds. And some lost lagoon. Put that one in, that one in there. Right, there we go, that's better. So, here we go. Some lost lagoon and some sweet sorbet. So I'll do the leaves with the lost lagoon. Hopefully I'll be able to work out where the leaves are. That's it. So I need around here and that little piece there, and then that's a leaf, and there. Trouble, if you had some little little ink spots, you could possibly use those to do the inking up, but to use a full-size ink pad you just cover too much space, so you can't really do it with one of the big stamp pads, only with the smaller one. Right, so that's all of the lost lagoon for now. Might go in afterwards and just add a little bit more, we'll see. And then the sweet sorbet for the flowers. Here we go. So try and cover as much of the flowers as possible with the sweet sorbet. Doesn't matter too much if I go over the edge of the lost lagoon that I've stamped. There we go. So those are my flowers, and because I've used the sponge dauber, hopefully they will stay reasonably wet. So it is. So I'm just going to move that out of the way and bring that down. You're just huffing onto it. And we'll put that down around there and press that down. I cut this piece so that it would be in the right size to use. Oh, there we go. That looks quite nice. And I don't know which way around. I think it's that way around. Yes, that's better, I think. So that way round. Doesn't matter too much that I've got bits of red where the green is. It's fine. I think that turned out quite nicely. Right, so I'm going to use my mini trimmer just to frame this nicely, hopefully, and put that there like that, and a little bit over here. And then I've also got a piece of Lost Lagoon that I'm also going to use and cut out with my cut and emboss machine. And another piece over here, make sure they don't move around. So those two are going to be cut out. I'm not worried about the, I don't know why I've got these bits still here. Not worried too much, oops, about my sentiment strip, because that's going to be straight, because I'm not fiddling about with moving things around. So here we go, I need my plates for my machine. There we go. And the first one goes down. I'll put the smaller one first. And I'm using the deckled rectangle dies, and I think they're on the retiring list. So if you did want deckled rectangles, you need to get them ordered as soon as you can, because come the new catalogue in May, they will have disappeared if they haven't disappeared before. I can't remember whether they're on the discounted list or not. I can check that out. Try and remember to post that if it has. And that one's done. And now for this one, I can go back through here. I'll check that out and put that on the post. Let me just see where I am. Right, let's try it that way. See if that will work. No, I know it should be the other way around. Let's see. This one's a bit thicker. Doesn't want to go through so quickly. So there we go. Get this one through. Right. So that's done. So these can go away a moment. And that can take those off there. Put that away. Done my cutting. So here's my other die cut. I forgot to do my sentiment, but we'll do that one in a moment. Oops. So there's my mat, and I'll put that away in a sec. So we're now going to mat that onto there like that. I don't know. Which way do you prefer it? I think that way up. Yeah, that's the way I'm going to do it. Right, so I'm going to mount this with some Tombow on the back. There we go. There we are. So that's my, got a bit of, don't know whether that's, yeah, just a little bit of something off my fingers. Right, so that's my topper done. Now for my sentiment, and I want, where did I put that? Oh, typical. I'm best birthday wishes. I'm going to use something else as well. Just thought about that to go on the inside of my card. Let me just take this off a second, because I will use that again in a minute. Best birthday wishes is going to go on there. And I want to have maybe this on the inside. I'll need a different block for that one. I'll try this one. Doesn't have to be the whole thing, so that's okay. Actually, it does take the whole thing, so that's okay. Right, so I'm going to use my Lost Lagoon again for the sentiment. I've cut this strip is 1/2 inch wide by, I don't know how much, it doesn't really matter, because I'm going to cut it down anyway. And this strip is 3/4 of an inch wide. So that's that one, and we're going to put that. Now let's get this straight. Put that straight along there like that, and there we go. Hopefully that is going to be straight. And no, we're going to do that again. Try it on the back. It's difficult to see white when you've got it on white. I don't want to get that corner in. That's better. So that's okay. So that bit is done. And I was going to just clean this one off a minute. I'm going to swap this one off over to one I used on yesterday's. So take that one off again and put this one back on. And that can go on the inside. There we go. Right, so that's for my sentiment. And then on the inside of my envelope, I'm going to stamp this one. Today is all about you, happy birthday. There we go. And I'm going to put these leaves on, coming up from the side there. So that's going to come down there like that. And actually, I might try and see if I can put it up here as well. There. So I've got the leaves coming in both directions there. So that's my card. And then on my envelope, I'll put them over here like that. There we go. So that's my envelope done. I could do it in the middle, do it down, coming down from the top as well. There we go. That looks quite nice. So that's my great envelope done. So now we can just put this together. So we've got these two that need to be put together. I don't know whether to trim that down a little bit. Let me just use, because I turned it over. Let's put that away. What did I do with that? Let's use this one. There we go. So that is going to go on there like that, and that can come across there. So I'm going to trim this down first. There. And that there. And then I'm going to stick this down first. Onto that. There. Oops, it moved, as they do from time to time. There we go. And then I will make that the same. Actually, that's a little bit less. There we go. That's okay. So I'm going to put that just a bit off centre. Now I need some more. I used up most of my dimensionals yesterday. Here we go, got some more. There's already started. So we'll put some dimensionals on the back of this. going to put them on this end here. Right, so we'll put this on. And I wanted it that way up, no, that's it. So just a bit further over because my sentiment's going to go off as well. That's going to come off here. That's it. So where, more or less, where my adhesive, my dimensional is, and then I'm going to put a little drop of glue on this end to hold it in place. So I'm going to put that up to the side and across. Whoops, try and get it straight. So that is the front of my card. So we need some something to go on there. I've got these solid faceted gems, and that, I think that looks quite nice with that. And I've got that as well. So yes, we'll use these. I think these are old, I'm afraid. So you might not be able to get these, but I'm sure there's lots of other ones we could use. Ooh. I've got, what have we got? What other ones could I use? Nope. I've got, I've got these. No, why would I use that? Could use the brown ones here. Those are copper clay, not pecan pie. I think those are pecan pie. So I could use these, which are like oval shapes, and they're called opaque ovals. Those would be okay. I could use those. Could use just some plain, if I can find them. Oh, these are quite nice, and they could go. They are flat adhesive backed pearls. They would look quite nice. They're iridescent as well. They're quite nice. That pearlized effect. No, those are not. Oh, they're gone. I need to go through my stash, see what I've got here. I think that would be okay to use with that as well. That might work. Don't know that the pink would. And these are glossy dots assortment. I think they're still in stock at the moment. I think there's probably some that are going to be finishing. There's the basic rhinestone jewels. They would look okay. You can colour them in. Could use the darker ones, or even the creamy coat ones, but probably the darker ones would be best, of the latte ones, the adhesive backed swirl dots. Those are quite nice too. So there's lots of other ones that are available that you could use, but these are the ones I'm going to use for now because I've got them out and they're ready to use. Don't think they're available anymore. I have to go through my stash and work out what's still available. That could be nice as well. And these are the blooming pearls. They might be nice too. So there's other options out there if you wanted to use something different. And if you haven't got them, you can use whatever you've got anyway. So I'm going to use one here. And a big larger one, whoops, here, and another larger one up here, I think. There we go. So that's my embellishments for the card. So there we go. I could use, don't know whether I can tie a ribbon with this one. Although I've got that one, I could. I've got some Lost Lagoon. Whoops. This is, what do they call it? bordered ribbon, and it's Lost Lagoon. I could tie a little bow with that. That would be nice. I like to try and tie the bow before I cut it, if possible. I only want a smallish one. I'll make the bows as small as possible. Don't want it too big. There we go. And then cut this down. I'm going to try and match that one. Oh, it's not matched. There we go. We could put that in the corner over here. What do you think? Yeah, I think that looks nice. Get these out of the way. Gonna have to cut some more of this off though, because it would be too long as it is. Actually, make it at an angle. Make that one a little bit smaller. There we go. That's better. Yes. And I'll use some mini glue dots. Here we go. One and two, just to make sure it's nice and secure. I'm going to put that there in the corner. So there's my card for today, and the inside, and my envelope. There we go. So that's the technique, just using stencils to make a background. And then I've just added a bit more. Okay, and another technique is using the sponge daubers. You could use the brushes, but you haven't got as much, you can't get as much definition if you use the brushes, because it's not so easy to work out where you're putting them. It's easier with a sponge dauber. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, you can click on the subscribe button, and the little bell icon will then, if you click on that, you will be notified when I post a new video. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. You can leave any comments you've got in the comments below. It'd be nice to hear from you. If there's anything else you need or want, just give me a shout and I will do my best. You can contact me here or on my Facebook page or my Instagram page. Again, thanks for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.